Hi there, hello there, internet dwellers. My name is OrangeLightning, and welcome to another GameCast review. Today, I'll be talking about Yonder, the Cloud Catcher Chronicles, a single-player adventure exploration game blanketed in sheer wonderment, championed by the team at Prideful Sloth. Jumping straight into the gameplay, the controls for this game are relatively sound, if a little ice skatey from point to point. There isn't much to get to grips with, but there is a lot of item management and cycling through in search of the right tool for the job. A core feature of this game, after all, is collecting and crafting, so there is a fair amount of time spent in your pack, and it isn't bottomless, so you will need to keep on top of your item slots. You don't want to be caught on the opposite side of the map with a glorious treasure chest to be opened, and your inventory is full. Time to chuck those seeds away! But aside from that, there are few buttons to worry about, as you will spend a lot of your time running and mashing square, if on PlayStation like me, to gather as much dang wood and stone as you can find. So the heart of this title lies in the exploration and overall adventure itself. A lot of comparisons flagging to the Legend of Zelda series. There are certainly lots of things to do to fill your time up, but I found each aspect it was pulling, such as farming or crafting, to feel a little bit unfinished. I guess we have been spoiled by games with one of these specific mechanics at its centre, that Yonder came across a weenie as trying to put too many eggs in a moderately sized basket. A good example of what I mean is the guilds that you can join. In fact, the game steers you to have to join in order to progress the story. When you start one, you get a novice badge and some basic recipes to craft, and when you hit a certain value of worth from what you have made, you complete the quest. But I wasn't expecting to jump straight to Master. That was certainly a brief training course, if only real education was like that. One of the biggest things, though, that was decided on in Yonder is to remove any sort of peril. Now that is interesting, as something you were tasked with doing as part of the main plot is wiping out the purple hazy murk that has all of the locals terrified. But it cannot actually hurt you. There aren't any enemies to watch out for, nor can you even take falling damage. I tested this by flinging myself off of a cliff, but instead of petrifying doom, I was met with a dainty umbrella, guiding my character to safety. I may not have Mary Poppins' bag, but I have her power of flight! I don't actually think this is a bad thing though, as although part of adventure can be facing dangerous beasts and wielding a magical sword, it was actually quite refreshing to not have that on your mind and instead enjoy dashing around from town to town without a care in the world. Switching things up to the story, after a very short, very dangerous boat trip, okay, so mild peril, you arrive at Gemea, a land plagued by an ominous dark matter known as murk. The people are sinking into despair as patches of this evil shroud are dominating the landscape, sealing off towns from each other and damaging numerous properties and trade routes. So, it is up to you to uncover the mysteries of the murk with the help of the local magical creatures known as sprites, that only you can see, by the way. Gotta be special, and through this, fulfill your own journey of self-discovery and heroism. Naturally though, the townspeople each have their own stories to tell, and by aiding them, you will be given tidbits to help with the main quest. It is simple, and works well with the calming nature of the game, but perhaps this is the problem, because danger is not really a thing to be concerned about. As a player, there does not seem to be any real urgency to fix the overall problem. I did what I always do in games with many side quests, and kind of drifted away from the story quite quickly, finding myself more interested in maxing out each guild and exploring the entirety of the map, instead of pushing through the plot. Also collecting cats. They purr when you pick them up, it's so cute. Delving into more graphical detail, there is no denying Yonder is beautiful. Colours are bold and well defined, and I absolutely love the changing of the seasons, and how even in the snowy mountains or lush forest, the changes felt by spring and winter are still there, and are subtle enough to just feel it traversing instead of just chucked in your face. There are a number of strange animals and creatures to coax onto your farm as well, and it has to be said, the whole style is just adorable. Everything is designed to really bring home that sense of wonderment and just plain joy. You can't help but crack a smile and think, yes, this is a world I want to live in. Also, there is some customizing to your character. Most of it needs to be found or crafted from unlocking various guild recipes though. But come on, you don't need anything else other than galaxy hair. There were a couple of loading blips when crossing into different areas, but they were so short I barely noticed, and very soon forgot about once I carried on. It did lag a little for me when I kept swapping out seeds though at my farm, and I had to jump in and out of the pack menu to wake it up. But other than that, the game performed really well. There is also an online feature where players have the option to leave items in a box and then upload it for others to find, kind of like those old style time machine shoe boxes kids buried in their back garden. And I thought this was a nice little touch to subtly engage with other living adventurers. Perhaps a multiplayer future maybe? Much like the visuals, the sound is very sweeping and pretty. If a little sudden in some places, it may have scared me once or twice, I'm not gonna lie. And instead of voice, the game goes for sounds to indicate speech, and it fits together well. I prefer this a lot of the time to the over-the-top, silly voices that this kind of style would garner. So, is it enjoyable, you ask? Yes, I had a lot of fun with this game. I was very overwhelmed at first, as I was presented with all of these different things I could do, places to go, people to see, but once I started settling in, the completionist in me began to kick off. It can be a little slow going in the very early hours, but once you start expanding your map and finding sprites to unlock new areas, I was eagerly reaching for more. There is one pet peeve I have though, and that is there are a lot of quests that get pushed in your face that maybe you can't complete right now and have to come back for. I am the type who wants to do it all, and I want to do it here and now, especially as there is a lack of fast travel features. But I fell in love with the fishing mechanic in particular, as it works nicely enough to still challenge, but not be completely horrendous like many other games. And actually, I was quite a fan of the lack of battles. I thought it was a nice change. To wrap this up then, I like Yonder. There are a number of comparisons that can be made to other similar games, but this one is nice for collectors and someone looking for a more relaxed and outright adorable adventure. However, I do worry that this is a game that is trying to be so many things, but ends up feeling a little empty and not quite grasping what makes it special and stand out from that crowd. In the end, I am giving Yonder a wait for sale. The price tag is a little high, although there is a lot of gameplay and the potential to sink hours into it. I'm not sure it would really score in replayability once finished. But don't get me wrong, I enjoy it, and I think at a sale price it would definitely be worth grabbing and chilling out to, even if it's just a couple of quid less. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed this review of Yonder, the Cloud Catcher Chronicles. There's a mouthful if ever you heard one. Alliteration and the rule of 3, huzzah! If you want to see more from us here at GameCast, please like and subscribe, and keep watching for more awesome gaming content. And if you want to see more from me, there are links in the description below to my channel, OrangeLightning Playzone, and all of my other social spaces. So, take care for now! Bye!